entire life being restrictive about money, worrying about money, and thinking that, once I have X dollars in the bank, then I'll finally be okay, you will never be okay. For the last 20 years, I've been helping people take control of their money. And if there's one thing I've learned, it is that we love to lie to ourselves about money. We tell ourselves, I just need to keep a budget, or I don't know how to invest. That feels like gambling to me. When ultimately, if we got really honest with ourselves, we would admit that like anybody else, we are guided by our emotions and by our money psychology. There's nothing wrong with being emotional about money, but what I want to teach you today are 9 counterintuitive lessons that I have learned, which are going to help you take control of your money. The first lesson is a big one. Being frugal can actually cost you. Did you know that you can actually save too much money? When I say this to people, they look completely puzzled, but it's actually true. Ask yourself this: do you really want to end up 80 years old with $1 million, $2 million, $5 million in the bank, yet no skills to actually know how to spend it? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you spend your entire life being restrictive about money, worrying about money, and thinking that, once I have X dollars in the bank, then I'll finally be okay, you will never be okay. I've talked with millionaires on my podcast, even multimillionaires who cannot bring themselves to spend their money. And this is something that is not really talked about because most of the media focuses on how bad things are, even when an economy is extremely strong like it is right now. Let me tell you my philosophy on money. I believe it's a tragedy to live a smaller life than you have to. If you have money, you can use it on the things you truly love. And that's what I want you to do. Use your money to live a rich life today and an even richer life tomorrow. The key here is to figure out what enough is. Now, a lot of people have a random number they pick. They say $1 million. I go, where'd you get that from? I don't know. 3 million. What does that mean? I don't know. It just feels good. No. First off, if you're going to pick a number and then add 15%. Okay, that's because you're going to forget about a bunch of expenses you need. But the truth is that enough is rarely a number. Sure, you need to have enough so that you can take care of yourself and your family. Sure, you need to make sure that you can live off a certain percentage of it, maybe 3 to 4%. You need to factor in Social Security, all that stuff. But most people don't actually do this. They camouflage their anxiety by saying, I need a number. Once they hit that number, they still worry. They still feel anxious. It doesn't change a thing. So more important is to make sure that you are saving at least 10% a month, investing 10% a month at least. Your fixed costs are below 50 to 60%, and you're using the rest of your money for guilt-free spending. If you're doing these things, you can start to live that rich life today and know that you will be able to live a richer life tomorrow. In other words, make sure that you are exercising your spending muscle, not just your saving muscle. And that brings me to the second lesson. Spending more sometimes can actually save you more. Now, this sounds crazy, but hear me out. One of the best uses of money is to buy back your time. Now, a lot of people conceptually agree with me. Yeah, that sounds so good. I want to use my money, buy back my time. And then I go, okay, cool. So how have you done it? I couldn't pay somebody to go get my groceries for me. They don't know the exact type of cashews that I like. Hiring somebody to do my laundry? No, they don't know how to fold my underwear like I do. I like 3 folds, not 2. What the hell are you talking about? But when it comes down to actually spending money to buy back our time, I've discovered that most of us like the idea of buying back our time more than actually buying back our time. I'm going to share some ways from my own life that I actually use money to buy back time. For example, I get pre-made fresh food delivered right to our home. When I travel, I don't sort by price. I sort by direct and shortest time. I make sure that there's a car waiting. And this is just a little weird thing for me, but I hate filling out paperwork when I go to the doctor or dentist. So I have an assistant fill out the paperwork for me ahead of time. I walk in, get the treatment, leave. It gives me a ton of joy. And there are lots of things that other people do. They hire a personal trainer, they hire a nanny, they have a bookkeeper, accountant, they get a cleaner to come to their house once a week or once every 2 weeks. They have online grocery ordering. They have a personal assistant go through their email, or they hire a home organizer to calm their house down. What's the point? The point is that you can do these things yourself. If you truly enjoy grocery shopping, fantastic. If you can't afford to have somebody come and clean your house once every month, okay, then that's not in your spending plan. I totally respect that. On the other hand, if you ask yourself, what is my rich life? Would doing laundry fit in there? If not, then maybe it's time to take a look at where you are spending your money and redirect it to get rid of some of the things you don't like. And what this can free you up to do is it can free you up first to just enjoy life. You can literally sit on the couch, read a book, watch TV. You don't always have to be productive. You can also use that time to earn more if you choose to. You can take one of the programs we have at I Will Teach You to Be Rich to start a business. You could negotiate a salary increase, land a better job, whatever. The real question here is, what is my rich life? Is it actually doing laundry 4 times a week? Or do I want to spend my time doing more productive, more enjoyable things that are actually a part of my rich life? Now let's talk about a lesson that seems controversial sometimes. Lesson number 3, renting can actually be a better financial decision than buying sometimes. Now people get furious when I simply suggest that for the biggest purchase of your life, you should actually run a buy versus rent calculator. It seems kind of obvious to me. If I'm gonna drop hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, maybe I should type in a few numbers and calculate it. I don't know, is that crazy? I guess it is, because in America, real estate is religion. In fact, we have all these fun little phrases. Don't throw money away on rent. Weird, they don't say that about eating out at a restaurant. Don't pay your landlord's mortgage. That's weird. Do you say that when you go out? Don't pay the sushi owner's mortgage? No. And we even have people saying, hey, why would I rent? There's a 2-bedroom house for $1,600 to rent, or next door, I can buy it for $1,600. Same 2-bedroom type of unit. I should build equity. I go, okay. I like equity, but did you factor in a 30 to 50% increase in costs for owning? You need to factor that in when you calculate the opportunity cost of your down payment, the ongoing maintenance which you will pay as a homeowner, but as a renter, you simply pay what the market bears. Also, transaction costs of buying and selling. There's so many other factors. Personally, I basically add 50% onto the price of a mortgage to account for these phantom costs. That's just a back of the napkin calculation. You need to do your own. Because nobody does this, instead they just write me angry comments and tell me that I'm an out of touch person, even though I'm the one running the freaking numbers. Most people don't actually realize the true expense of owning until it's too late. Candidly, most people don't really want to know. They want to buy for $500,000, then 20 years later they want to sell for $800,000, and then they want to go, I made $300,000 of profit. It's like, dude, you actually lost money. You just don't realize it. Remember this, rent is the maximum you will pay. A mortgage is the minimum you will pay. Now, in some cities, it can make financial sense to rent and to invest the difference. This is especially true in high cost of living cities, although it's becoming increasingly true everywhere right now. In my situation, I lived in San Francisco, New York, and LA. It made no financial sense to buy. I rented an amazing place, and instead of buying, I invested the difference because it would have cost way more to own. That in turn made me way more money than I would have made by owning. Now you can do the same thing. You can invest the difference between buying and renting. You can choose a low cost index fund and actually make more money sometimes. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to rent. I'm simply saying, please run the numbers to decide if buying or renting is a better financial decision for you. And while we're on the topic of housing, the 4th lesson I want to share with you is paying your mortgage ahead of time isn't always the best decision. Now, depending on interest rates, you can actually make more money by paying the minimum on your mortgage and investing the rest. But I gotta tell you, this is where money psychology really comes into play, because some people just hate debt. They see any type of debt, they go, I hate it. I want to pay it off. I go, have you actually calculated that if you pay it off early, you're actually going to lose like $280,000? And they physically do not hear me. They go, whatever. I hate debt. For people who truly hate debt, even if you point out the math, they don't care. They just want to be rid of the debt. And I used to argue with them. Look at this spreadsheet. Have you ever looked at the amortization? This is where math and psychology intersect in a fascinating and beautiful way. It might seem irrational for somebody to want to pay off a low interest mortgage. It might seem emotional for them to say, I don't care about the math. I just want to be debt free. But the truth is, we all make irrational decisions with our money. We all are emotional with money. Being emotional is part of being human, and money is deeply emotional. So while it's true that if you have a low interest mortgage, like say 2.5 or 3%, mathematically speaking, you should pay the minimum on it and invest the difference. I'm okay if somebody calculates it, they look at the numbers, and they go, you know what? I can see that it's going to cost me a lot of money, but I just want to be debt free. It's okay to make decisions that differ from the spreadsheet as long as you understand what the numbers are. The fifth lesson I really want you to hear. Now check out this video to watch more.